everyone, and welcome to Spill the RT episode 92. Hi, Josh. How are you today?
Hello, Eamonn. 92 episodes.
92.
Damn, it's been a long time coming.
That was the year I was born, Josh, 1992.
No way. Are you serious?
I am serious. I'm deadly serious, yes. And look at me now.
I'm not going to tell you the year I was born because I guarantee you it was not 1992.
It was a great year. It was the year the world changed for the better.
Oh, because of your birth.
Because of my birth, obviously, yes. Yeah, 100%.
I see. Well,
100%.
They say that self-belief is important in this world.
It is. Fake it till you make it, baby.
Okay.
Did you have a good week?
I did. I have a very good week. Every week now with the new studio, I'm doing so much work. I'm starting a new gallery. I'll have more news about that. All kinds of things are happening. It's all good up here.
Amazing. That's great. I don't know. So delighted that you're making new work. I wish I had some time to do some. It's just like, you just have to do it, don't you? You just have to start. That's the thing.
The funny thing is that having had my space just got constricted over time, right? To the point where I have nothing left to work with. And now with the new studio, no, all I want to do is be making work, and everything else. Sorry, even with this podcast, it's like, oh, this is taking time away from what I really want, which is just a few steps away from me, right? Like, it feels good to.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder as well, So I feel like, if you're away for an hour while we record Spill the RT on a weekly basis, then I suppose, it makes you want to go for more. Maybe you get some inspiration, from the different stories that we look at every week.
Well, I think for me, creative flow, whether I'm making music or I'm painting or I'm sculpting or I'm writing or like anything I'm doing, it's that loss of time that creative flow allows. And it's not so much about the work. It's the mental state of the world no longer really matters, and I don't care. And I love that.
I love a bit of escapism.
Best drug there is.
Well, speaking of escapism, we have 5 fabulous stories curated by yourself, Mr. Stein. So, dude, give us the lowdown on what we're looking at today on Spill the RT.
So, this week, is it graffiti art or historical restoration in Rome? The scent of ancient Rome, or the scents of ancient Rome.
Smell it.
Museums team up to buy artworks. New York City trash art from Taylor Swift's wedding. And Gagosian in retreat on 2-ish continents. All that and a brand new guest are up next as we spill the RT. Welcome to episodes
92. Ooh, very good. And everyone, don't forget, while you're at home, we'll get it done and over with today as we did last week. We will get you on all our social channels at New Collective Art. Follow, share, subscribe, all of the above. Leave us a comment. It's all of the things that you need to do. But Josh, I think we should bring on our guest. Are you ready for him?
I am. Let's go.
Let's go. It is Matt. Hi, Matt. How are you today?
Eamonn, hey, Josh. Doing great.
Excellent.
The sweltering hot weather down here in Charleston, South Carolina.
Charleston. Oh, right. Okay. So for those of us who do not live in America, comme moi, like myself, where is that? Like, where are we in the middle?
You can imagine where Florida is, right?
Sure.
Most people know the little dingle.
Yes.
Right. So you just draw a little line up the coast, and that's where I'm at.
Okay. So you've got the sea breeze at least then.
Only if you're really next to the ocean. Otherwise, you are screwed.
Okay.
Yeah, I live about 15 minutes away from the ocean, and even here, it's just like you get out the airport, and it's walking into like a bowl of soup.
Oh, that's not very nice.
The entire East Coast is like that. That's why when I was living in Manhattan the last couple of years, the summers were it was horrible. This is, you can literally feel the air, right, Matt? It's just like, it's horrible. It's just,
yeah, it's rough.
It's like the underground in London when you go that far deep under. It's just this thick pollution that you just feel like you need to just go home and have like the hottest shower ever just to disinfect yourself.
I need a cold shower. I got
a cold shower.
I got to get the ookiness off me.
The ookiness. I love that. That's my word of the day now. Ookiness. I love an ookiness. Do you feel ooky today, Josh?
I no, actually no. Where I am in Northern California, the weather never really changes. It's basically the same 10-degree band all the time. So no, I don't feel ooky.
No ookiness for Josh.
Wonderful.
Well, that's fantastic. Loving that you're in full costume today, Matt, too, with the cap. You got the memo.
I got the memo. I'm not on the Glasses Club, but
I know. I'm not usually, but I'm
my vision
actually.
is pretty good.
Oh, well, boo hoo. Were you born in 92, Matt?
I was born in '89.
Oh, my goodness. You're putting me to shame.
'89, baby.
I'm like an old woman here with my little handkerchief. You know, I just put it up into my sleeve. With my glasses, my spectacles. I'll be seeing out this far next, and it's just peering out. Anywho, before we get into all of my aging dilemmas, we should probably get on with the show and go to our first story, Josh.
So off we go to the first of two stories in Rome.
Roma.
We all know that street art is incredibly popular around the world, right?
Mhm.
Like anywhere you go. And obviously, there's different kinds of street art that's out there. There's stuff that's just straight up defacement that is just graffiti, right? But there's plenty of like art that goes up on walls. And there's a guy in Rome who feels that Rome is already beautiful, that every public building in Rome is so beautiful that, in fact, to put up anything else other than just to have the buildings is, in fact, defacement. So, what is this guy's superhuman crusade? He is one building at a time trying to remove all of the paint on the walls of the buildings of Rome.
My goodness. Is he getting paid for this?
No.
He's just doing this voluntarily.
Yes.
Fair play to him. Fair play to him. And he didn't even do a crime or anything. This isn't like some sort of, like, do you know, when you go into like, what is it called? You know, that kind of like thing that you get if you do something bad in court and you're brought to court and they give you this, not like, what is this thing? Oh, I
So
feel like.
glad you're married to a lawyer.
I know, but I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. I'm married to one, but I'm not one myself. What is it when they get this like community service? Community service.
Oh, yeah.
It's not
You're
even
literally the
Aren't they
only
called, like-
person who knew where you were going with that one, buddy.
Yeah, well, I got there, didn't I? I got there in the end. You know, the brain sometimes works.
I was thinking I was thinking you were talking about deposition or something like that. But
No.
aren't they called like barristers over there?
We have barristers here in Ireland. We have solicitors and barristers, just to make it even more confusing. But my husband is a litigator, so he doesn't do either of those things.
I've learned just let him go, Matt, because eventually the words you just wait it out.
You'll get there in the end.
It's like a slow bus. It
So-
eventually shuts up.
So what do we think about this, right? So like, is like the removal of the graffiti defamation, or like?
Well, so
taking
he's
away
claiming that
art?
he's restoring, right? He's restoring the beautifulness of the city back to its pristineness and taking away things that take away from it. And of course, my logic is always going to be, okay, maybe there are probably some historical buildings that don't need to be graffiti, but there's plenty of just straight up walls, as there are anywhere, right? That like, if someone can do a nice throw up, why don't you leave it alone, bud?
That's the other side as well that I was thinking about. Was that how is he defining what is graffiti that is like bad and what is graffiti that is like there as
all bad.
Yeah, so
this guy, it's all bad. Right? Like a Banksy in Rome would be as bad as, someone just scratching their name as a tag.
Oh dear. Okay. So is this vandalism on the vandalism?
Well, he claims that he's like I said, he's claiming to be like the Superman of graffiti here. He is taking the world back. He's reclaiming Rome on behalf of all the rest of us.
He's making Rome great again.
How does that?
Well done, sir. Well done.
Making Rome great. MRGA. Murga. Oh, Roma.
Sounds like a good transplant.
It does. It does. We can try and see what that disease is through our EKG as well, which should be something that we'll look at soon.
Our EKG, EPK,
our EKG. Yeah, exactly. All the acronyms. Those of you who are not in the pre-show workout that we were talking about. Eamon is just a little bit psycho today. That's okay. It's all good. So
We're capturing your dementia in real time. It's
that's
nice.
okay. It's okay. I mean, what is it? You hit 34 and then like it's just all downhill from there. I don't know, guys. You've lived 34 before. What was it like for you two?
I still believe deep in my heart of hearts that I'm a 24-year-old young man. So I'm just looking out for my hip, because once you break that hip, it's all
Still in denial then, Matt, is it? Still in denial?
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Well, it's in...
I was an old man. People have been telling me I was an old man since I was a kid. So
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, you probably had the old man mentality, I'd say, when you were like trying to learn how to walk. You were like, where's my walking stick?
I think I gave up on most people and most of society before I was 2. Yes, for sure.
Okay. Great. You were definitely somebody with lots of beliefs and values at that point, I'm sure.
My mother used to tell this story. She was in the grocery store with me one day, like I was in the grocery thing as a baby. I was like maybe, I don't know, 13, 14 months old. And this old lady leaned over, was like, oh, what a cute little baby. And I looked up and I said, fucking goddamn it.
You did not.
And she just,
how old are you?
I was like, it's like 12, 14 months. Yeah. And she just about shit her pants, as you might imagine. And that kind of sums up my view of life, really.
Well, I mean, you didn't pick it up from nowhere. You know, you weren't, there was like probably no television back then in those days. So, you know,
how much cursing could I have been around if I'm saying fucking goddamn it?
I know. Like, was this something that you came across yourself independently, or were you learning this from your parents, or did you just have like...
Oh, yeah.
You tune into the radio? Did you have like, was it that you learned how to put on the dial so that you could find the frequency?
They apparently had to come up with all kinds of ways to try to trick themselves to stop cursing, and it obviously didn't work.
It never worked.
So,
no. Okay.
What can I tell you?
Well, go on to Rome then. Whatever else is happening in Rome today, Josh.
Nonetheless, that's the first Rome. The second Rome story actually is in St. Louis. There's a museum show that's up that has a bunch of like the ancient statues from Rome, right? And everyone just sees these white statues and like, oh, look, there used to be white statues. A, they used to be painted. They had all kinds of stuff that was added to them. They were very colorful, all kinds of things. But B, they also used to have things poured on top of them, like perfumes and scented waters and things. So part of this exhibition is they call them all the factory stations, right? Like a place along the wall, you walk over to it, you lift up the thing, you can smell what's there, you close the jar back up, right? So like the smells of ancient Rome are there, the various herbs, this like lavender and honey water, all different kinds of things. It just kind of was bemusing to me that in St. Louis, here's the smell of Rome 2,000 years ago.
They did something similar like this, though, in the V&A recently when they had the Marie Antoinette exhibition, and they had like all of the different like scents and that they would have had which was quite interesting. Another sensual experience.
Yeah, but something like that's from like the 18th century. We're like, well, we kind of pretty much know what perfume smells like, and pretty the same kind of perfumes then as now, right? But like 2,000 years ago, I don't know. And you know, it's not like this stuff isn't still around.
They're making rough guesses?
No, it's like, it's literally the same stuff. Rose petal water and that kind of thing. Just think about like a non-modern society. What would they use around them to make shit smell good since everyone was not taking showers?
Rose petal water is actually quite good for your complexion. Sorry, what were you saying, Matt?
What did you say, Matt?
Yeah, not only that, they before plumbing, there was just like shit everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's like, just imagine like opening one of those like drawers and it's just like a pile of dung, you know?
That's disgusting. No, you literally have it beside your bed. You get off this because your bed is so high. You're getting onto the steps, and halfway down the steps there's a porter potty, a little kind of like a little bowl that's inside the steps that you pull out, you do your shit, and then you put it back, go to sleep, and you wake up and you've got a fermenting smell that is fit to kill, I would think. Who needs assassination by like newts? And you just get assassination by shit.
Shout out to all the night soilmen of yesteryear, man. Fuck that job.
Absolutely. You're going to need to have your no wonder they had all of these what do they call them, those little valets.
Ballet.
Valets,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, valet.
Yeah.
It's French. It's French, you damn Irish fool.
Valet.
Well, not because you have the valet for the car, but they had a
That's still a
valet.
valet.
Yeah,
That's the
exactly.
same
So,
thing.
so I feel on today's episode of Spill the RT, it is let's see how stupid Eamon is.
He was just in France last week.
I was in France about 10 days ago. Anyway, I know,
Hey,
yeah,
check it out. They
listen,
got valet parking.
the do got valet parking. There's Duolingo, that's really working for me right now.
Excellent.
Yeah, my 365-day streak of Duolingo really works out.
What was the
So this
first
also reminds.
What was your first language at home, Eamon?
English, babe.
Okay.
Matt, what does this remind you of?
So they had these things when we were kids where you'd go, it would be around like Halloween time, and they would have like a box with like a hole cut in it, and you'd like stick your hand in there. It's supposed to be make you like gross you out or something.
Oh,
And it would be like spaghetti and butter, but there would be like worms or like zombie brains.
that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
They
like
should add that to this.
they should add in that little extra sensory experience. That's like what happens on what is that thing called in Australia where they go down under the I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, and you go down. It's like Survivor, I think, is the American equivalent, and they have like these boxes, but they're actually real spiders and creepy crawlies and ugly things that are just biting your hands off. Yeah. Again, Halloween episode is not for a few weeks, so preempting. Josh has lost his marbles there.
So that's that.
That tea is built.
Off we go to basically every museum that you can think about in the US, the UK, and Europe. I think when people think of museum acquisitions, they think of like a single museum that has a whole bunch of holdings. Turns out not so much the case anymore. And in fact, the way a lot of museums are making acquisitions now are conjointly with other museums because things have gotten so expensive that it makes it easier for them to buy these pieces and have them and share them and circulate them around because most of them sit in storage half the time anyway, right? So it's like, well, if we buy it together, when I don't need it, then you can have it. I thought that was kind of interesting. It's a very different way of thinking about like what museums do.
Yeah, or what they should be doing. That's I think there's a question about maybe should the galleries be. Well, this is something that I think about sometimes. So galleries and museums, depending on which side of the United States you're in, they hold collections or whatever. They hold and put on exhibitions and create and curate shows of artworks, but should there not be a separate entity or a separate thing that preserves, stores, and manages the artworks when they're not in those particular environments so that it could be shared no matter where in the world?
Well,
and then there isn't that ownership.
There are some places like that, like the VA Storehouse. That's the Victorian Albert Storehouse. That's in South London, for example. Yeah. That's a publicly accessible storehouse that has thousands and thousands of pieces that aren't technically on display, but that are part of the collection, right? But most museums, let's just say for insurance reasons, if nothing else, right? If it's not up, people generally don't have access to it.
Yeah.
And in that way, it's no different than a free port. The free ports are for tax purposes. The museums are keeping this stuff for preservation purposes. But either way, it's still in the dark, right? It's not seeing the light of day. Most of the work just is in a warehouse.
But I mean, I think as well, though, if you think of it from a different perspective, it's like, oh, well, there's a Caravaggio coming to a gallery in central London, and I'm really excited to see it because it's coming here and it's only here for a limited time before it goes elsewhere in the world. And you have that wanted desire to go for it, and it has that kind of limitation of not being able to see it all the time. And then I suppose on the other side of it as well, I think something that we are very privileged today to have with technology is the fact that a lot of these artworks are documented. So we can see a lot of stuff no matter where we are in the world. It's not like in 1991 when there was only access to, artwork in the art galleries themselves. Then 1992 came along and I came into power and, we could actually we could actually see them all over the world then, just through the screens. So, you can see how that would have been something that would be beneficial.
That's true. I do
I saw
remember
it
that.
coming a mile away.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I think you are raising a good point, which is right when stuff circulates, it does make it. Neither one of you are old enough to remember the tour of Tutankhamun throughout the United States in the late 19th.
That was Egyptian, wasn't it?
Yes, but that was the whole bunch. That was everything. It was huge. It was like, you think that people are attracted to Taylor Swift. I'm telling you, people were online for days to see this damn sarcophagus. I mean, it was the thing because it was only going to be in the US for a few weeks and then it was never coming back again. Right. And so, like, anybody and everybody, it's like Halley's Comet, go and look at it. Hey, look, it's a comet. Great. Can I go back inside now? Like,
yeah.
But
it's like the online queue for the Bayeux Tapestry that's coming here. Like, that was something, not that obviously to the same extreme, but like the queue was horrific.
But it raises the other issue, which is, are museums even necessary anymore in the sense of needing to go visit them, right? That's why they have declining visitor counts, because people are like, well, I can just look at a picture of it. I don't need to go.
Well, I think in contradiction to that, or not in response to that, or in future to that, I go back to what we were talking about before a couple of episodes ago, when we were saying that sometimes looking at a piece of artwork, you can kind of get feedback from looking at it in its physical form, from just being in front of it and experiencing the tactileness, the physicality of it, the scale of it, the getting up and close and personal to it, so that you can see it without breathing and spitting on it, or they'll kick you out of the museum, sort of a thing,
What do you think, Matt?
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think the full power of a piece is in its native resolution and its native format, right? So, like, if you look at like a Dali, just a print of a Dali, it's it's still moving. It's still going to bring out some thought. But if you go to like the Dali Museum in Florida, it's going to change your life.
Yeah. I'd even like, Dali's a great experience, a great example of that for me, because I think that his sculptures are like outrageous, and they're just, in real life, it's so impactful, but you just don't get that same kind of level in a digital form. Yes, Josh.
I didn't realize how.
Go ahead.
I didn't realize how big some of his paintings were. So like the one of the Matador, I just kind of imagined it to be 4 foot by 6 foot or something like that. That thing is humongous. It takes up like a whole wall, and so like that power just being present in that room with it is just like, oh.
So keep that thought in mind as we turn to our next story, where that Taylor Swift and what's his face just got married. Right?
I didn't get the invite, so no, I don't know. But anyway, that's okay. I'm okay.
It was at Madison Square Garden, which, for those who are not familiar, is this historically famous, important entertainment venue where lots of things have happened for hundreds of years in New York City, right? So lots of people show up. Obviously, every celebrity in the world was inside Madison Square Garden for this thing, and there's lots of people outside, which obviously leaves lots of trash. So this particular artist dressed up like a wedding goer, like he was a guest, and then started cleaning up the trash, and now has packaged said trash. This is not the first time he's done this. He puts them in these little glass plastic boxes and then sells them for $25 a piece as souvenir trash from the Taylor Swift wedding. So,
I think they're kind of cool. I kind of like how colorful they are.
Running on with this thought of the real thing. Okay, in this case, the real thing is trash.
Okay. Yes.
Collectible.
Get that bag, boo boo. Seriously, like, I mean, he found an angle and he took it, or she found an angle. You said it was a male artist.
It's a guy. I think it's a guy.
Yeah, it's a guy.
Okay. Well, yeah. They found an angle and they took it, man. For that, I applaud them. If there's going to be people that are going to buy it, sell it.
Somebody's got a profit on this.
Well, that's the thing. It was a limited edition of 50 boxes at $25 a piece, labeled New York City pocket garbage.
I think they look great, and I think I think as well because how he actually curated them, they look amazing. They're very colorful. The boxes themselves look like they're in this like collectible material, so it's like it looks like it has that extra added value to it, and I thought it was quite genius actually.
Well, he's been doing it since 2001. It's an ongoing project called New York City Garbage.
Ah.
And that's
So
exactly what it sounds like. It's just
when are,
nothing but.
when are we going to talk about the real problem here?
What's the real problem? That
Where
you
was
weren't invited?
that I wasn't invited? She was on the Graham Norton show there a couple of weeks ago, and she was saying, "Oh no, everybody's invited. Like the whole world's invited." I wasn't invited.
So, did you book a ticket?
Well,
Did you show
Eamonn,
up?
I'm not a Taylor fan, to be honest, but I still wanted to be there.
wanted to be at the wedding just to be a part of the popular culture movement.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Only because all the cool people were there.
For the low price of $25, you could have a piece of history right now.
Love it.
Sold out.
Honest.
Sold out. You have to
Gone.
I sold out. I wonder what the resale is on these. Like they've got to be crazy.
I would imagine if he's selling them for 25 and people are actually liking the series, right? I imagine there's a good secondary market, but who knows?
Is he numbering them or anything? Or is there any sort of like level of like certificate of authenticity or anything like that with it?
He screen prints on the actual boxes. There's like information put on them, and then there's like a cola that comes with it, and so like it's a real thing. It's a real art object, if you will. I think like anything else, how far and wide it gets, because there's this whole tranche of artists in New York City in particular that intentionally try to work on the margins, right? They're not really trying to get into big galleries. They're trying to do stuff that's like poking fun in different kinds of ways.
Yeah.
And something like this sends up both the art buyer and the larger art community at the same time, right? Because it's trash.
Yeah. And the Tay nuts folk, the people who are just utterly like crazy. Yeah.
To me, it's that kind of thing where it's like a once funny, like I can see I might want one of these, but I wouldn't really feel the need to get more than one.
You don't want a full collection of the different states of America or something like, where it's like every city in America with all their trash on your like.
No, but it's not. His series is just the trash of New York City across the last quarter century, which is interesting, right? But like, how many do I need personally? I would say one.
Yeah, imagine like him, trying to rationalize this with like their partner when they're first getting up and running. It's like, babe, I promise I got something going on here. Like, I know there's a lot of trash in my my room now, but like I got an idea.
It's gonna make me fortunes. It's gonna pay our mortgage.
It's funny to say that, actually. When I was doing my MFA, one of the people in the class behind me, she did art made straight from street trash, but big pieces. Like, so she could get these like all the kinds of tarps, and people were donating stuff that we were like, is that lead? Is that asbestos? Like, it was because like just started becoming like a dumping ground for anybody that had architectural things they wanted to get rid of. Here, I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
And like I was the next slot over in the studios. I was like, I don't want to be breathing this shit. Can we
literally talk about smells?
Yeah, it was too much. This at least is just the trick.
Yeah, I think there's a level where it's like can be acceptable, right? And I did a project one time when I was like 18, 19 years old where I had like ran a blanket that I had in the dryer, and then like the lint that came off of it was just like bright red, and I was like, it'd be cool to like do this art out of like lint. And then I told my friends about the idea. I hadn't even like started work on anything, but I told my friends about it, and then they were just like bringing me their lint. And it was like I just had like a whole trash bag full of lint, and it wasn't even like interesting lint. It was just like gray plain lint, and I was just like, come on, man, at least bring me something good.
Yeah. And do all of the jean blue together, do all of the red jumpers together,
Right.
There's an artist in MoMA, I forget her name. She collected all of her nail clippings and her hair from her brush. And so it's just these jars. It's just these jars. Like, it's just exactly. That's what you're like. It's just so fucking creepy. It's just
No, absolutely not.
Somebody likes that. Somebody likes that.
They do. It's like it's almost as bad as the feet pics on
blessing,
OnlyFans. I'm like, no, I'm not here for it. I don't understand it.
blessings on their life.
Exactly.
And, yeah.
Somebody had to give Gigi Allen a hug as he came off stage covered in shit and blood. It wasn't going to be me.
Oh yeah, I went to a Gigi Allen exhibit recently. Yeah, it was intense.
Exactly. Yeah.
No.
So there's that. And so we're just like finding, we've trash. So I wanted to go one step further, which is what has happened to the art market in general? Gagosian, the biggest, Larry Boy, right? Like the biggest there is, has literally just closed 2 locations in London and Basel. The art world contraction continues at the high level. And I just always like to point that out, that as much as these people say they're making money, we have these historical profits, we're doing great, they're closing their shit down left, right, and central all over the place.
Yeah, no, it's a sad state of affairs, really, isn't it? Especially when it's a company like this, as reputable as it is, and has the money and resources behind them to continue to try and push through the bad times. It's just a real sense of where things are going.
I just think, as we saw, if you want to cut through the clutter, come up with your own unique way of making art and putting it out there, and people will respond to it. You don't need Gagosian. You don't need the gallery system in order to actually be successful at making art. All you got to do is make art.
Yeah. Just make it. Just make it. Yeah. Well, there you go. And look at you, Josh, with all of your canvases happening and all of your big works, because you've got all the space to do it now.
Well, but like I said, the new gallery that I'm working on is actually going to be giving away the art. Like everything goes. I'm not selling any. The whole point is I give it away. Why? Because I want the space to make more art. What I like is the making of the art. The selling of the art drives me up the fucking wall.
It does.
Hate it.
Drives us all up the wall. Yeah. And if it doesn't, then you're making it for the wrong reasons. That's the thing, I think. It's like generally, if you're making art to make a shit ton of money, then you're aiming towards the commercialization of it. And in which case, just following a template at which somebody thinks is successful. And then as a result, you're just making for the sake of making.
My day job. That's exactly what I do, right? I'm running a marketing department. That's exactly what I'm doing. We template everything we possibly can because we want to be at scale, right?
Yeah.
I don't make art at scale. I don't do no. I mean, I make a shit ton of art, but it's all made by me, one piece at a time, because that's how I want to spend my time, right? I don't want to spend my time selling art. That I do not want to do.
No. You want to be in a position where somebody else does it for you.
From the soul.
It does, yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, it makes me feel like a used car dealer. I'm just not interested. I'm, people, and it's not like I don't sell. People approach me. If someone says, "Hey, can I buy this?" Like, sure, if you want it, cool. But I'm probably going to give it away otherwise. Maybe just wait until it goes up on the street somewhere.
Here's a bucket. Just throw whatever you like into the bucket.
Well, yeah,
that's a totally relatable sentiment, though. I mean, because when you spend all this time and making things. Any kind of art takes a massive amount of time, and you spend all this time devoting yourself to something, and then you finally get to the point where you're like, okay, I'm complete. Like this is where it's at. Then it's like the DLC of that is like, oh, now I got to go try and sell this to somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or find someone to sell it on my behalf, right? Like,
yeah. No, and it becomes so tedious. It becomes a thing about, okay, well, now I need to spend 50% of my time on social media trying to share everything. Whereas
I spend the time I need to support myself, to pay my bills, to do what I want to do. And that way I can do whatever the hell I want to do when I go to make art, because then it's mine. It's not for anybody else. It's not for any return on investment.
Yeah.
The making is the investment's return.
Yeah. And it's free therapy.
That actually brings up a good question from me, a good topic of conversation, if you don't mind. But like with to your point of like the making of the art being the art itself, right?
Yeah.
Like I guess the question I have is like when we start talking about like AI in like specifically in AI and music, right? I think one of the guys from Daft Punk just had a statement about this, but like releasing music, it doesn't make you cool. It's like the making of the music or art, is the cool part, right?
Yeah.
That's the part that I connect with. That's the part that Josh, you were saying you connect with.
Yeah.
And then you have the other parts of it, and then you have the release and you have all your stats and everything like that. And for that, it's like I want my stuff to get seen or heard by people who would enjoy it. And so with that, you have to do some work on that side. But I don't have like a humongous catalog of stuff because I have to build these things from top to bottom. And then you've got like AI music. It's like, okay, I can press a button and then all of a sudden I have a song that I could release tomorrow. Is that like, and I'm not, I'm kind of, Switzerland on the AI music topic. Like, I don't think that I'm not completely against it. I like think that if you do it, you should own it. But I question the motive of people who do it to, I guess, just have something out, just have a catalog.
Yeah,
or just
is it just like as a manufacturing process almost?
It reminds me, I've heard this debate for a number of decades now as a musician, because it goes back to like when Kraftwerk showed up and the original arguments against the originators of EDM, right? Like those kind of antecedents was they're not really playing instruments. They have knobs and things they're twirling. Right. And I have a friend I went to school with. He's now making some waves actually in the music art world by he created a system where he puts sensors on his brain. And he's then, instead of turning knobs, his brain is generating what you're hearing as the EDM music. And so it's this whole thing he's developed. Like he does stuff in galleries and museums now. But like he's not producing any music with his hands, if you will. Right. But his consciousness, his actual embodiment is what's producing that. And that's why people then go live to see him do this. It sounds the same whether you're listening to it live or not, right? Because it's still music that's coming out of speakers. It's being generated through a series of electronic systems, not actual instruments playing the music. How much of that is about being live in the room? How much of that is about it's connected to a human essence, as Benjamin would have said, right? A certain kind of aura that connects to it. And how much of it doesn't matter at all? Because if you close your eyes and you couldn't see, you'd only have what you were hearing.
What you were hearing, yeah. Much like the same thing with an art piece. You'd only have what you're witnessing, regardless of how it got there to begin with. I think I like having worked with singers and musicians for the last 15 years on a professional level. I see the effort that goes into the craftsmanship and the skill set that's required to develop the artistry of becoming a musical artist, as it were, and bringing together the different layers and levels of songwriting, production, orchestrations, composition, all of the above to make things happen. And then for you to go into a chatbot or whatever and to just ask, I want a romantic sounding song with jazz lyrics in it, and I want it to be about a breakup, go, and then it creates something, and then you just tweak it with a couple of more prompts, and it's rendering something that's actually sounding something quite human-like. It just makes you kind of, for me, it just makes me churn a little bit. It's much like when you're creating auto-generative artworks and you see your social channels completely enthralled with AI generated images. And yeah, there's thousands of prompts that are behind some of them, but it's kind of like, okay, yeah, but I've been drawing since I was 2 years old in 1994. So, I just want to, it's just, I don't know. And I am a little bit on Sweden's side as well, Switzerland, even not Sweden, where like, it's kind of like, you use AI in processing. I use a lot of AI insofar as kind of just trying to speed up the process of exporting, like even just clips of this podcast, just to kind of try and kind of like get things out quicker. But still the script, the story, everything that we're talking about, this is all human. All I'm asking the AI to do is just to export it so that it's quicker. But the actual content itself is human. So yeah.
And I think that because I've used AI elements in my art. I'm not hiding that. But when I've done it, it was like intentionally to sound like an AI.
Yeah. So an aesthetic
like,
as well.
So the only time I've used it in music, like as an element of the music, was I had like a spoken word part that
Mm.
was like, I kind of want this to sound like a computer talking.
Yeah.
And so I just had AI spit it out, and then I kind of chopped it up a little bit and threw it in there. But
So tell
and
us about your work, though, Matt. Tell
Yeah.
us about your work.
Okay, sure. Yeah, so the music I'm referencing there is a former project of mine that still is alive, but is different from the current works. But that was called LUXE. It's keyhole spelled backwards.
Oh yeah. Okay.
You're looking at, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and so, but that one, I had done that element with some AI stuff, and then my opinions changed. I grew into a different kind of realm, where I want to make all my music from scratch. Even
Mm.
if that's in the DAW or if it's on my modular synth. Which, Josh, to your point, like talking about craft work, if you don't think that a modular synthesizer is an instrument, I challenge you to go play it.
Yeah.
Because
Absolutely. Yeah. 100%.
it's a lot. And I've found that to be a meditative tool, over the past, 5-6 years specifically, and kind of have been growing a lot. I went through kind of like a rough time in my life. Had a injury that had lingering effects, and music was always kind of the relief for that. And I
Mm.
think so. The Deco Lux project, it marks kind of a turning point where I'm coming out of this darkness. I'm coming out of depression. I'm coming out of PTSD. I'm coming out of this rough patch of my life, and like just wanted to make something fucking fun. Like
Mm.
like I wanted to, instead of making something kind of dark and broody, I was like, what like really resonates with me? And being an 80s kid, Eamonn, I love the sound of like 80s synth pop and early electronic works and things like that. And I
Yeah.
just
It's
like,
great.
I like this synthwave aesthetic. I like the analog synths, analog vibes, CRT TVs. I like that. Like, how can I try and capture all of that into a sound? How can I capture that into a collective work? So I just threw a bunch of baloney at the wall and waited to see what stuck, and then landed with this kind of synthwave, kind of sunsetty vibes. That's where the Eventide title comes from. It's all kind of sunsetty, kind of nostalgic, more texture based. I used a lot of samples that I took of these like chimes and bells and kind of chopped them up, and added a bunch of side chain compression, things like that to it, just to kind of give it this kind of modern feeling while still like sounding like the memory of a song you've never heard before. But yeah, the single
Cool.
Mellow comes out 21st of August, and the album comes out a week later.
Oh wow.
Have it kind of be a little bit of a surprise drop somewhere in there. So
Oh.
be on the lookout.
Oh, fab. Cool. So I'm
You heard
assuming
it
we
here,
can.
Phil.
Say that again. Say that,
I
Josh. What
said,
did you say?
you heard it here, folks.
You heard it here. You heard it here. So I'm assuming all of these will be available on streaming platforms. Am I to assume correctly?
All the streaming platforms, even like 30 that I've never heard of before. So yeah.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
We're familiar with that as podcasters as well. Wait, where
Yeah.
does it end up? How does
Oh,
it? How does
it's it's in Pod Hippie. What the heck is Pod Hippie? And have you got like a website or something that we can go to check out more information about you, Matt?
Yeah, so right now I'm kind of just uploading everything to Instagram and YouTube.
Okay.
Both of those are at deco.lux.music.
Perfect. Cool.
Um, you can check me out on I got pre-save links you can check out.
Perfect.
And pre-saves are much appreciated,
Okay.
getting a new project off the ground.
Absolutely.
And yeah, be on the
Yeah,
lookout. I've
great.
got
Well,
some behind the scenes content on my page. So
cool. We'll put links to your social channels and the pre-save link into all of the descriptions across all of our own social channels and everything else that we're a part of too, so that we can spread the word about this release. What was the date again, Matt? When was Deco Lux coming out?
So Eventide comes out on the 28th of August.
28th of August.
Mellow the single comes out on 21 August.
Ah, okay, great. So the 21st of August is our first hit. So we'll get you liking, subscribing, and all of the above, folks. Get onto Matt's pages through the links in our descriptions below, and make sure that you pre-save, because that helps the algo. You know that, like when we say put a comment in there, that's what happens when you pre-save. Spotify then leaps his track up to the top of the system, and that's what we want for him. So amazing, great stuff, Matt. That's really cool. Very exciting. Very excited to hear how that goes from you as well. So keep us in the loop.
Will do.
Absolutely.
And thanks so much, guys, for having me on. It's been a pleasure.
No, not at all.
A lot of fun talking with you guys.
Great. Well, I think that's all we have time for today, Josh and Matt.
I know. The episode has just flown by. See that?
It's flown by. It's almost like we were here for 3 decades, but we're not. So until next week, we are having a little break next week because it's mid-August and it's just too hot. I just need to cool down a bit. So we are not back next week, but we are back the following week with a brand new guest. Lots of art stories to spill, and all of the creativity.
The due date for Anecdotes episode 4 is coming up soon.
Yes.
If you've got art, if you've got anything you want to contribute, Anecdotes episode 4 or issue 4 or whatever the hell we're calling it.
That's the one. So September 1st, if you want to make a contribution to our Anecdotes magazine, you can do so. Just if you want to just drop us a little line, I can reply back from there. Or if you want to email us at hello@newacollective.com with your contribution. The 1st of September even, not December, the 1st of September is the date in which you need to get it in by. And that will be released by the end of September. So that's very exciting. What are you giggling at over there?
Oh, nothing.
This is just this. We're always having the shits and giggles and spill the RT. So make sure you come back in 2 weeks' time when we continue to share the creativity. See you then.
Bye-bye.